Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the backstory. If you are new here, kindly hit that subscribe button and the notification bell down below so that you can be notified whenever we post a new video. Now ladies and gentlemen, there's one thing that I've observed with President William Ruto's government that I think they need to work on. This government, ideally, they like shooting themselves in the foot by trying to give attention to some unnecessary things. Like, take for example, the issue of Butere girls. That is something that should have been ignored. Another example is the lady who was arrested some times back because of heckling a minister. You know, sometimes you can give publicity to an idea that you should have just ignored and let it pass. So recently, or like yesterday, there's something that happened whereby President William Ruto's government has been accused of trying to silence the Standard Group. You know, Standard Group has been hitting this government in a way that they've been doing very bold headlines against President William Ruto's government. And they've been doing stories that are pricking the conscience of who is who in this government. And this is something that is not unique to this government only. Standard Group was a thorn in the flesh of President Kibaki's government. The same happened during President Uhuru's government. And now in President William Ruto's government, we are being told that they are trying to revoke all broadcasting licenses that will legally issue to the company. All that it means for the Standard newspaper, KTN, Radio Maisha, and even the online broadcast. So I want you to watch this video that has been done by KTN News. It's courtesy of KTN News. Then we'll come back and analyze.
Tangu kuanzishwa kwake mnamo mwaka 1902, kampuni ya Standard Group imetambuliwa kote kwa upeperushaji wake wa matangazo wenye ujasiri na usioegemea upande wowote. Hata hivyo, kutokana na hali ngumu ya kiuchumi, kampuni hii inadaiwa deni la shilingi milioni 48 na mamlaka ya mawasiliano nchini CA za ada ya leseni ya kuhudumu. Desemba mwaka jana, kampuni hii na CA walitia sahihi mapatano ya mpango mahususi wa kuanza kulipa deni hilo. Mwezi huo kampuni hii ililipa CA shilingi milioni 10 na kuahidi kulipa shilingi milioni 24 zaidi mara tu swala la haki miliki maarufu rights issue lingekamilishwa. Zaidi ya hilo, kampuni hii ilikubaliana na CA kulipa shilingi milioni 2.5 kila mwezi kuanzia Januari mwaka huu, kiwango ambacho kampuni hii kwa hiari iliongeza hadi shilingi milioni 4, fedha ambazo imekuwa ikilipa hadi kufikia leo.
Anything outside of that smacks of ill will and malice, and we have no option but to fight it.
La kustaajabisha hata hivyo ni hatua ya CA kutuma notisi iliyotiwa sahihi na mkurugenzi mkuu wake David Mugonyi Aprili tarehe 9 mwaka huu, ikitishia kufutilia mbali leseni za kuhudumu za vituo vyote vya upeperushaji matangazo vya Standard Group. Ajabu zaidi ni kuwa mamlaka hii sasa inadai kuwa Standard haijakuwa ikiheshimu makubaliano baina yao.
We have moved to the tribunal to ask for an injunction against the publication of the threatened Gazette notice to revoke all our broadcast licenses. And we think that this is an attempt to gag the media.
Mhariri mkuu wa Standard Group Chaacha Mwita anaamini kuwa hatua hii ya mamlaka ya mawasiliano inatokana na msimamo wa kampuni hii kufichua uovu wa serikali ya Kenya Kwanza.
We will fight to the hilt, and we really hope that all institutions of goodwill, including the tribunal, will side with us.
Kutokana na vichwa vya habari vya kijasiri vya gazeti la Standard na upeperushaji wa matangazo kwa njia ya kipekee na isiyoegemea upande wowote katika redio na TV, ni wazi kuwa Kenya Kwanza imeamua kuhujumu utendakazi wa vyombo vya habari vyenye wajibu wa kuarifu na kuelimisha umma.
So the truth of the matter is that there is no question of stepping down or increasing pressure, or it is something that I always say that what we publish and carry is the reality of the day. So if the reality changes, of course the reality of those headlines and the reality of those stories will change. We are not going to back down. We are not going to report things that are not the reality just to make some people happy.
Tukio hili sasa linaoana na jingine mwezi uliopita ambapo serikali kupitia kwa Edward Kisiangani aliyekuwa katibu wa habari na mawasiliano wakati huo ilifutilia mbali kandarasi ya kampuni hii na Wizara ya Unyunyiziaji mashamba maji kutokana na upeperushaji wake wa habari unaoweka wazi uchafu wa serikali. Licha ya Standard Group kuteuliwa kuwa miongoni mwa vyombo vya habari vya kutangaza kwa umma kampeni ya uzinduzi wa mpango wa kitaifa wa unyunyiziaji mashamba, kandarasi na Standard Group ilifutiliwa mbali dakika za lala salama. Aidha, serikali imekuwa ikifadhili wanablogu kuichafulia jina kampuni hii katika mitandao ya kijamii, ikiwemo kubuni vichwa vya habari visivyokuwa vya kweli na hata kuwatishia wanahabari. La ajabu hata hivyo ni kuwa wakati Standard inajitolea kuhakikisha inalipa deni linalodaiwa na CA, serikali ina deni la zaidi ya shilingi bilioni 1.2 la matangazo ya kibiashara yaliyopeperushwa na kampuni hii. Dalmas Sakali, KTN.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the media industry has been very slippery when it comes to revenue, because now revenue has been shifting from the mainstream media to the online platform, that is Facebook, YouTube, and all that. And so many media houses have been struggling when it comes to revenue. So Standard Group has been facing all this, and there was an agreement between the Standard Group and the government, the communication authority, so that the payment for the licenses could be done in phases. So in that agreement, the communication authority has now rescinded that decision. But remember, government owes Standard Group close to 1.something billion against the 40-something million that Standard Group owes the government. So if they are paid that money, then they'll be able to settle their arrears. But what comes out here is that why should they rescind the decision after they had made an agreement? What comes to mind is the fact that there is a feeling that Standard Group needs to be silenced. But when you silence the Standard Group, are you only silencing the Standard Group because they are criticizing the government, or you're trying to silence the media? Because the fourth estate, as it is, it's supposed to be the eye of the society. You know, we have the government, we have other, but the fourth estate should be able to articulate or show people what is the dirt which is in the government. And that is what the Standard Group and any other media house has been doing. But you know, when someone gets into government, a very good example is the former PS in the ministry, former PS in the Ministry of Communication, the Prof. You know, when this guy was in the opposition, he was built by the media. He was given platforms to articulate issues. But when he got into government, he changed all of a sudden and started looking for ways of muzzling the media. Right now, he's not in that position. He might be looking for the media, or might be looking for platforms to at least articulate issues. But still, the media will still give him a platform. Some of the people who have benefited out of all this is the current president, William Ruto. He was given a platform by media, that is Citizen, KTN, NTV. They covered his campaigns and his plight when he was talking about being sabotaged by President Uhuru Kenyatta's government, when he thought it was all those things were covered by the media. But now when you turn around and try to attack the media, then it means like there is something you're trying to hide. And it's not, and if you're trying to hide it, what is it? Why do you want to muzzle the media? So that you can control the society? No, that is not the way it should be. And I think Kenya should not take this lightly, because it's not only the Standard Group that is being targeted here. Once they're done with the Standard Group, they'll go to maybe Citizen, they'll go to NTV, and at the end of the day, you will not have someone to like highlight some of the rots in this government. So this is something that Kenyans should take seriously. It's not only about the Standard Group. However much the Standard Group is struggling financially, but I know over time they will overcome. But the most important thing here is that the media should not be, we should not let the media to be silenced, because the media now is like the mirror. It's like our ear and our mouth. When politicians are silenced, when members of parliament are silenced, when the civil society is silenced, it is only the media that will come out and defend and highlight the rorts in this government. But one funny thing that also this government should also need to learn, that I said that they're shooting themselves in the foot several times. You know, when you let some of these things go, Kenyans will still ignore, because they know some of these things do happen. But when you try to attack some of the institutions that are anchoring democracy, then Kenyans will start questioning. Kenyans will find, or will kind of pity, or will kind of try to question this government, and will see it as a corrupt government that is trying to hide something, or is trying to harm them. So they are creating a lot of negativity around President William Ruto's guy, and I think someone needs to like tell them to try and understand what to ignore and what not to, what to ignore and what to pay attention to. Yes, so ladies and gentlemen, President William Ruto's government needs to look at which battles to fight and which ones to ignore, because you can't fight all battles and win. And when you open like several battles, you will not fight them successfully and win. The only thing that all this is doing is to keep painting his government in very, very bad colors. And heading into 2027, what they need is a positive image. But what comes to my mind is the fact that there are people within the government who do not understand how to handle some of these things. They're trying to do things thinking that they're pleasing the president, but in a way, they're painting his government in very, very bad colors. So someone should pick this and advise the government on how to handle this. So ladies and gentlemen, that is it from us. If you're new here, kindly hit the subscribe button and the notification bell down below, so that you can be notified whenever we post a new video. Until next time, bye bye.